Hey guys, McCoy here. I'll give you a video real quick. Hey, this is Marfugal News. He runs a channel, a news channel, and I've been watching him since the beginning of his channel, but he does really good work, guys. You guys should go over and check him out. But he says something here at the beginning of this. I'm only going to play you a few seconds that really sums up how we really should be viewing some things. He talks about who we should believe, who we shouldn't, and why, those kinds of things. I'm just going to show a few seconds here, but I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll go from there.
So who do we trust, right? Nobody trusts NASA anymore. Nobody trusts scientists. And one thing that I would like to say is there are some good sciences. There are some good scientists. Just because you don't believe in one thing doesn't mean that everything else needs to be thrown away. There are people that study years and years and years on actual facts that can be proven, rather than thinking that all experts are government agents or shills. This is the thing that's actually happened now. People don't trust experts in any field. They think that they're paid off. There's something that's getting right into the truth community, and it's weeding its way in where people don't respect somebody with a degree. It's an actual, they have psychology behind it.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'm going to leave a link to that, but he sums that up really, really well right there. We cannot just sit back and think that everybody is lying to us. Okay? Now, should we question and be skeptical about what we're told? Absolutely. We have to dive into it and vet it the best we can. But we cannot just discount everything. If we did that, we wouldn't be able to really have any information. Okay? Because I don't know about you, but I don't have $2 billion in my back pocket to throw a freaking satellite up there. I mean, you know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And another thing, not everything that comes from these agencies are nefarious. Okay? I believe some of the stuff is true, and there's good people in these agencies. Now, are there more bad than good? Yes, I really believe that. Okay? Which is why we have to try to use our discernment and try to figure out what's going on as far as the information we're being told. Now, again, we have to, do the best that we can and be skeptical, but at the same time, we have to be grounded in the fact that there are people out there that have studied for years, have had humongous educations. I mean, I've proven time and time again I'm not the smartest guy around. So, we have to be able to at least trust a few, or not even trust a few, just trust what they say once in a while after we use our discernment to see if that's actually the truth. And what he's talking about here, guys, is the USGS. All right? I mean, that's one of those organizations that gets talked about really badly a lot of times. Okay, and rightfully so in some aspects. But there are times that they come out with information that, and they usually kind of stick it in the background, guys. It's kind of like hiding in plain sight is the way I look at it. And I also think sometimes there's mistakes made that stuff gets out that really shouldn't. So that's what I mean, guys. He said it really well right there. But yeah, go check out his channel. He does that call-in show. It's really well put together. You can still watch his show while you're on hold. He'll show links that you send him. He'll show, captures as long as it won't get strikes on his channel. Those kinds of things. He'll Google stuff for you while you're talking to him. And they'll put you in a queue. So you're not, like, trying to time your phone call to get in. Okay? And don't get me wrong, there's nights that not everybody gets in that wants to get in because his channel's getting big enough. But they do their best. And if you're in queue, if you call in the next night, you get put at the top of the list. If the show shuts down before you get a chance to talk. They do that. So, that's just a great thing. They've got their stuff together. It used to be a one-man operation with Adam here. And I think it was Adam and his wife pretty much. And now it's a multi-thing, man. I mean, they got Discords and all kinds of stuff. They help with the prepping stuff and all those things. So, yeah, go check out his channel. I'll leave a link. You guys really should. But, yeah, On to the next subject. Okay, we had this funky little eclipse, right, guys? From SDO, right? A lot of people have shown this already. I'm going to go ahead and show it again. Scott put a video up over at Planet X News about this. He basically just showed it in all different angstroms. Remember a few videos back I was telling you that the SDO was in eclipse season? Okay, we were going to see eclipses from the view of the SDO. Well, that's what we're seeing here, guys. We're seeing an eclipse, okay? But what makes it different is what happens at the end of this eclipse. Ben over at Suspicious Observers showed this. Again, like I said, Scott did over at Planet X News. I've seen BP Earthwatch actually did one on this. But I'm showing this just because it's really cool to watch. So we'll just run through this. I'm just going to use the slide bar. Okay, see, it's coming in, right? This is the moon. It appears to stop and then move the other direction, right? Okay, so we're going to watch that again. Okay, now, what's happening here? Okay, is this something we should be concerned about? Or is this something that is normal? Well, it's nothing we should be concerned about, but it's not normal either. Okay, what I'm saying is the timing for this to happen had to be just impeccable and right, okay? So what's happened here, guys, is that the moon, the satellite and the moon were, basically the satellite was traveling in its orbit, so was the moon in the orbit around the Earth. It happened that the timing of it, okay, it's moving, right? Well, it got to the end of its travel in our orbit, okay? And when it got to the end, it looked to stop, and then it was actually circling back around, and that's why it looks like it goes the other direction. Okay? The moon did not, let me reiterate this, did not go that far, stop, and then move backwards, is what I'm trying to say. If that had actually happened like that, man, I don't know what the effects would be. I just don't know. But the timing of this was just, that's what made it so unbelievable at first. But after looking into this and digging into this, this is what's happened, guys. Okay? This can happen. Makes perfect sense if that was at the end of its travel, then it went back the other way. Okay? This is my point about, we can't always think that something's nefarious and they're trying to come at us. Okay? This was just something that happened. All right? Now, I'm going to piggyback off that a little bit and go into something that's actually the opposite of that, where I think something isn't correct. And they're actually trying to mess with us a little bit. Okay? Now, this is a picture from the Israeli Space Agency. Okay? They sent a craft up to the moon. It supposedly turned around and took a picture of the Earth. Okay? No harm, no foul, whatever. Right? There's always controversy when we see pictures of the Earth from space. You get it from all different sides. I usually don't hold a position on whether I think it's real, fake, or whatever. I'm not a photo forensics expert, so you're not going to hear me get down into technicalities and stuff. But I do try to use my discernment and my common sense here a little bit. And what we're looking at, guys, this picture was picked up by all the mainstream media and used in their reports. Okay? And why I showed Marf earlier is because I was watching his show, and that's how I came to even know about this photo. All right? And this was just published, I think, on the 4th. Okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in, and what's the big deal, right? Well, if you look right in between, and a lot of you guys might have seen this already, but if you look in between that, and I know it's hard to see on this particular capture, but there's a faded line. Let me see if I can zoom in even more. That even made it better, it looked like. Okay? Oops. Look in between there, right? It's a straight line, guys. It's faded. Okay? That's the original. So, you can see how it can be missed very, very easily. All right? Now, this is the same photograph after I took and added a bunch of contrast and took out a lot of the brightness. Okay? Had to mess with this for like 45 minutes to get this stuff to draw out. Now, a lot of people don't understand if that can happen, okay? The way that I should explain this is that what we're seeing here is probably out of our visible light spectrum of our eyes. Sometimes our cameras pick up stuff that's not in our light spectrum. We can't see it. Matter of fact, there's been laws passed that the camera lenses can only see so far into the infrared. All right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of subjects on that too, a whole bunch of videos and things like that on that particular point, because they think that they did it to try to hide stuff. Okay, so we wouldn't see stuff that's up there. There's a lot of people out there that think that. That law was made during the Bush era. So what I'm saying is that probably is the case. That's probably why they did it. Why else would they limit the infrared? Okay, it's actually in the law. So that right there makes you question, right? So what are we seeing here, right? Well, obviously I told you guys, there's a line right here, right? And this is something they're not talking about. Look at this over here. There's a second line on the right-hand side. I've not heard anybody talk about this yet. Also, it's brighter right in here. Now, keep in mind that if you were a space agency, a country or whatever, and you sent something up to the moon, knowing that it was going to turn around and take a picture of the Earth, all along knowing also that anytime that happens, it gets very, very scrutinized and picked apart. Why would you send a camera up there that was going to take a picture, and digital or not, I don't care, that was going to take a picture and leave these kinds of camera artifacts? So that's why you got to question whether or not this is even a camera artifact. Okay? So what that does is it leads you down the road of, is this CGI? Or is this just a complete fake? So what do you think? I mean, this is the stuff that we have to do. We have to go through, right, to try to figure this out. And again, that goes back to Marf's point about we got to, really look at who we're talking to and what we're listening to, because some of it could be true from some people, highly educated people, but other times, which unfortunately ends up being the majority of the time, we got to be so skeptical we can't believe it, right? Well, anyway, something that I noticed in this one, okay, is if you look at this, you can see the light grade 8 down, right? And it's actually grade 8ing out, but if you were able to draw a full circle, if this picture allowed you to do so, you would find a light source that was probably right around in here. Okay? So, what's causing that? Is it a reflection? Is it a camera artifact? Only thing I can say is this is where my mind is going. Any of you guys have ever looked at Terrell Blackstar's stuff about the brown dwarf star? These are theories that he has. A brown dwarf wouldn't put out very much visible light, if any. Dr. Albers talks about our sun being dark, and this is exactly what she's talking about. It's not producing visible light. That's what she reports in the articles she's done. I'm not claiming to know either way. I don't really know exactly where I stand in that position. It's just so hard to wrap your brain around something like that. But, if it's the truth, it's the truth. But what I'm saying is, guys, is this possibly what could be happening? Could this possibly be that brown dwarf that Terrell Blackstar's talking about? Or could this possibly actually be, and, I know this is, I don't even know I'm saying this. Could this possibly be our sun? Is this what our sun looks like now? I don't know. This is just theories that I'm throwing out there, okay? Or not even theories. These are just thoughts. This is just me thinking out loud, right? So, with that being said, I just wanted to show that to you guys. Now, you can go on over to this right here. I put some arrows. It's the same picture. And again, guys, you could run the original picture through a photo forensics app if you guys have got them. I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I really totally trust those photo forensic apps. I really wouldn't know even how to read them correctly. I'm not an expert in this in no way, shape, or form. All I can do is put some stuff into some filters and see if it draws, the thing that I'm trying to see, or to make it clearer for you guys to see. So it ain't so hard to be looking at it. And any time that I do that, I always say, hey, I put this filter on it or whatever. But most of the stuff I show has no filters on it at all. And like I said, anytime that I do that, I let you guys know. But this, in my opinion, guys, this is a highly, at the very least, a highly manipulated photograph. And what am I talking? I'm talking about the original. Okay? Look at that. I mean, next to each other. You know, is all that stuff that showed up in the background there actually there? Or what's going on here? You know, I just don't know. But, you know, again, guys, I don't know if this is real or if it's fake, and I'm not going to claim one or the other. But my opinion is that this is definitely manipulated in some way, shape, or form. So, you know, I would love to see somebody else grab this photograph and see what they could do with it, and see. And I'm sure somebody out there might be already doing it, and I just haven't seen. It hasn't come across my my computer or my feeds yet. But anyway, God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this cool.